The cold steel of the alien ship reverberated with the echoes of distant screams, a haunting melody that chilled the bones of the toughest soldier. Captain Zara Voss, a seasoned veteran of the United Earth Federation, stared through the viewport at the swirling nebula outside. The vibrant colors of space were a stark contrast to the dread pooling in her gut. Just moments ago, they had intercepted a distress signal from a small colony on the fringe of known space, a colony filled with human children. "This isn't just a rescue mission," Zara whispered to herself, gripping the console. "It's a race against time." With a pounding heart, Zara remembered the stories whispered among the fleet. Tales of a ruthless alien race known as the Xylar, infamous for abducting human children for their own twisted purposes. What could they possibly want with innocent lives? Fear clawed at Zara's mind, but she steeled herself. "We won't let them down," she declared, her voice echoing in the command room. Her crew, each one trained for the worst, exchanged glances that reflected both determination and anxiety. As the USS Valor raced through the cosmos, its engines humming with power, Zara gathered her crew for a briefing. They stood in the command center, a sleek and technologically advanced room equipped with holographic displays and star charts. The atmosphere was thick with tension. Zara pointed at the blinking red dot on the screen. "This is where we last picked up the distress signal," she said, her voice steady despite the unease gnawing at her. "Commander," Lieutenant Blake, her second-in-command, interjected, "we're venturing deep into Xylar territory. If they've taken the children, they're likely setting a trap." "I understand the risks," Zara replied, meeting Blake's gaze. "But we can't abandon them. If we have a chance to save even one child, we must take it." The crew nodded, their faces set with resolve. As they neared the coordinates of the signal, Zara felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. They all had families, friends, and loved ones. The thought of those innocent children trapped in a nightmarish reality fueled her determination. "Prepare for boarding," Zara commanded, her heart racing. The ship's airlock hissed open, revealing a dark corridor filled with debris and echoes of muffled cries. The atmosphere felt charged with dread, and Zara's pulse quickened. They moved stealthily, weapons drawn, each step echoing ominously in the silence. Suddenly, a figure darted into view, a terrified girl no older than 8, her eyes wide with fear. "Help! They're coming!" she cried, her voice barely above a whisper before disappearing down a side corridor. "Follow her!" Zara shouted, leading her team deeper into the maze of the ship. The crew was trained for combat, but nothing could prepare them for the sight they were about to encounter. The alien ship, once sleek and ominous, was now a nightmarish labyrinth of shadows and screams. Zara's instincts kicked in. The urgency of the moment heightened as they turned corners and pushed through doors, adrenaline surging. Each step felt like a countdown, the weight of time pressing down on them. They navigated through dimly lit hallways where the smell of burnt metal mingled with something sickly sweet, an eerie reminder of the horrors that might lay ahead. After what felt like an eternity, they stumbled into a large chamber, illuminated by the eerie glow of alien machinery. The sight before them was horrifying. Cages lined the walls, each containing a child, eyes wide with terror. Some clutched makeshift toys, remnants of a life they once knew. But it was the sight of the Xylar that froze Zara in her tracks. Tall, spindly creatures with skin that shimmered like oil, their elongated faces twisted into sinister grins. "Stop right there, humans," one of the Xylar hissed, its voice a cold whisper that sent shivers down Zara's spine. "You've intruded on our territory." Zara raised her weapon, but the Xylar merely laughed. "You think you can take them back? This is our harvest!" The room echoed with the sound of their cruel laughter, but Zara stood her ground, her resolve hardening. "Release the children," Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her veins. "Or face the consequences." The Xylar leader stepped forward, a gleam of amusement in its eyes. "Consequences? You are outnumbered and outmatched. You are nothing but ants in our domain." In that moment, a spark ignited within Zara. The thought of those innocent children trapped and frightened fueled her determination. "If you want to fight, you'll get one," she shouted, signaling her team to take positions. A fierce battle erupted. The sound of gunfire mixed with alien screeches filled the air. Zara fought fiercely, her training taking over as she moved with precision, dodging and firing with deadly accuracy. Her crew was equally formidable, each member displaying courage and skill as they battled against the Xylar. Zara's heart raced as she fired her blaster at one of the approaching Xylar. The creature let out a screech before collapsing to the floor. But there were too many of them. Zara's crew fought valiantly, but the Xylar were relentless, their strength overwhelming. Just when it seemed they might be overwhelmed, Zara noticed something strange, a flicker of uncertainty in the Xylar's movements. It was as if they were losing focus, their aggression faltering. Suddenly, a warning blared through the ship. "The countdown has begun," echoed a mechanical voice. Zara's heart raced. The Xylar were not just fighting to keep the children, they were preparing to destroy the ship. "We have to get out of here," she yelled, scanning the room for an escape route. She spotted the girl from earlier, cowering in a corner, clutching a teddy bear. "Over here," Zara called, rushing towards her. "We're getting you out." As they regrouped, the countdown timer displayed on a large screen began ticking down. 30 seconds, shouted one of her crew members, panic creeping into his voice. Zara grabbed the girl's hand and sprinted towards the exit, her team covering their retreat. "Move, move, move," she barked, urgency driving every step. They dashed through the corridors, dodging blaster fire from the Xylar as they made their way back to the airlock. 10 seconds, another crew member shouted as they neared the ship's exit. Just as they reached the airlock, a massive explosion shook the corridor behind them. The sound of metal twisting and screaming filled the air, but Zara pushed through, adrenaline propelling her forward. With mere seconds to spare, they boarded the USS Valor, breathless and shaken. The ship's engines roared to life as Zara ordered a tactical retreat, watching as the colony ship erupted into a ball of flame behind them. As they regrouped in the Valor's medical bay, Zara took a moment to process what had just happened. The rescued children were huddled together, some crying, others staring in shock. Zara approached the girl she had saved. "What's your name?" "Lila," the girl whispered, her voice trembling. "Lila," Zara repeated softly, kneeling to meet her eyes. "You're safe now. We'll take care of you." But Lila's expression was serious. "You don't understand. They said it was pure insanity to take human children. They said humans were unpredictable and dangerous." Zara's heart sank. "What do you mean?" "The Xylar? They were afraid of humans. They thought we could become something more than they could control." The implications of Lila's words sent chills down Zara's spine. What could they be afraid of? She pondered aloud. The Xylar had never been known for their fear. They were a powerful race, ruthless in their conquests. Yet, here was a child revealing a deep-seated fear of humanity. As they returned to Earth, Zara couldn't shake Lila's words. The Xylar had been desperate, and their fear hinted at something deeper. Had they underestimated humanity's potential? What if they were on the brink of a war that could change everything? Upon their arrival, the children were taken to safety, but Zara delved into research, seeking information regarding the Xylar and their past interactions with humans. What she discovered was alarming. The Xylar had long believed humans were a threat to their very existence, viewing them as unpredictable and capable of unprecedented power. They feared humanity's potential to unite and rise against their oppressors. But the questions remained. Why had they chosen to abduct children? Zara spent sleepless nights poring over data, learning that the Xylar had been observing Earth for years, conducting experiments to understand human resilience and adaptability. The Galactic Federation convened an emergency meeting to address the growing threat of the Xylar. Zara, now a key player in the discussions, presented her findings. "We need to prepare," she urged. "If the Xylar view us as a threat, they may be planning a full-scale attack. We must unite our forces and strengthen our defenses." The council was initially skeptical, but Zara's passion and the evidence she presented began to sway opinions. They devised a plan to fortify defenses and establish alliances with other races that had also faced Xylar aggression. In the midst of her preparation, Lila emerged as an unexpected ally. The child had an uncanny understanding of the Xylar's tactics, and her insights became invaluable. With her help, Zara developed a strategy that focused on using their own fears against them. Months later, the Federation received intelligence of a Xylar armada heading towards Earth. Zara led a coalition fleet, prepared for battle. As they awaited the enemy, she felt a mix of fear and determination. This was humanity's chance to show the universe their true strength. The Xylar ships appeared on the horizon, sleek and menacing. As the fleets clashed, Zara fought with all her might, utilizing Lila's knowledge to counter the Xylar's tactics. The battle raged on, explosions lighting up the dark void of space. "Captain, the Xylar are attempting a boarding maneuver," Blake shouted, urgency lacing his voice. "Not on my watch," Zara replied, rallying her crew. "We hold the line." The crew fought valiantly, but the Xylar were relentless. Just when all hope seemed lost, Lila stepped forward. "I can communicate with them," she exclaimed. "They'll listen to me." "Are you sure?" Zara asked, fear gripping her heart. "I have to try," Leela insisted, determination shining in her eyes. With no time to waste, Zara relented, allowing Lila to establish a communication link. The young girl's voice echoed through the chaos, reaching the Xylar fleet. "You don't need to fear us," Lila cried. "We can be allies. Together, we can defeat our true enemies." The Xylar hesitated, confusion rippling through their ranks. Zara watched, heart pounding, as Lila's words took effect. The Xylar were not accustomed to negotiation. They were warriors, but even warriors could be swayed by fear and doubt. As the Xylar faltered, Zara seized the opportunity. "Now, attack!" she commanded, and her fleet surged forward, pushing the Xylar back. The tide had turned. In the aftermath of the battle, as the dust settled, Leela stood at the helm of the USS Valor, her small stature radiating a surprising strength. Zara knelt beside her. "You did it, Leela," she said, her voice filled with awe. "You showed them who we are." Leela smiled, her innocence shining through. "I just told them the truth." The Xylar leaders, realizing the futility of their aggression, approached Zara for peace negotiations. Lila became the bridge between the two races, advocating for cooperation instead of conflict. What had started as a mission to save children had blossomed into a new alliance, one that would stand against any threat, united. As the sun set over the horizon of Earth, Zara looked at Lila, now a symbol of hope for both humanity and the Xylar. Their bond had forged a new path, one where both races would stand side by side. "What do you think will happen now?" Zara asked, looking at the stars. "I think we'll be okay," Lila replied, her eyes sparkling with optimism. "Together, we're unstoppable." The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity had proven their strength. They had faced the unimaginable and emerged victorious. The echoes of their triumph reverberated through the cosmos, a testament to their resilience. As they prepared to chart a new course, Zara felt a wave of hope wash over her. The universe was vast, filled with unknowns, but now they would face it together, humans and Xylar, allies against the darkness.